Welcome back to Fox 43 AM Live. Join us now is Carmen and Priska here to talk to us about the Alzheimer's Community Forum happening on August 29th. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we were just chatting right before we started the airing. A lot of new information has come out about Alzheimer's recently. Go into a little bit about that. I thought it was really fascinating. What's going on?
Well, we just got done with the International Conference for the Alzheimer's Association, which was held in Amsterdam recently, where all of the top scientists, researchers come together from all over the world, really, and they talk about the new research that's come out. There are some that come out about gut health. There's some about the great benefits of volunteering, which comes into being involved and not just staying at home and aging, and you need to be engaged in the community, always learning something new. So there's so many things that have come out, and then we also have new drugs that have come out. So it's kind of an era of treatment. So we're slowly moving into where we'd like to be as far as looking for a cure, and Stormontville does so much in their research department to help that.
That's great. So this Alzheimer's Community Forum now, is this kind of like I guess a summary of kind of what we've learned over there and with the new research from Stormontville?
Yeah, it is going to be. So on August 29th at Stormontville, the Poses Education Center from 5 to 7, Priska and Stormontville, and then New Sound, so Dr. Gonzalez will be speaking also, have kind of combined together to talk a little bit about education, awareness, what we are doing and seeing currently in research trials, and then offering some support also.
That's wonderful. I love the, basically, yeah, from research to support, because what's it looking like out in the community? Can you speak on like the numbers? Is it a growing concern that we should all be looking out for? What's happening right now?
It definitely is a growing concern. I can tell you in Shawnee County, 6% of the population 65 plus are diagnosed and living with Alzheimer's. So that's about, roughly about 2,000. And those are people that, like I said, tied to Medicare. So we're also running into folks that are being diagnosed earlier. We're talking early onset, whether it's mild cognitive impairments, and these can start in mid-40s. So those folks aren't counted in the numbers that I've just shared with you. So it is a growing concern all over, the United States. But the other thing is, you have the medical part of it, but you also have the caregiving part, where people need to have a caregiving plan and they need resources. So this forum that we're doing is going to help people understand the free resources that we offer, as well as, we need to have more folks involved in research from all of the different diverse communities to make sure that we are moving to where we want to and there comes a cure. And one of the great things that came out of the research had to do with hearing.
Yeah, I know obviously Dr. Gonzalez isn't here with us today, but can you speak a little bit about how the hearing can affect the Alzheimer's? How does that correlate?
Well, some of that correlates because you're thinking about all of the things, and I'm oversimplifying because I'm not a doctor, but you're thinking about all of the brain functions, right? And it's kind of, if your hearing is gone, your brain is working harder in other areas. So when you put in a hearing aid, it kind of lessens the extra work that has to happen. But that can be tied into anything, whether it's a diet, whether it's eyesight. I'll tell you a quick story. I had a lady call that thought her mother may have some kind of an issue, because anytime the neighbors would come by, she would call them by the wrong name, when in reality it was she had some eye issues, and once she went and got those fixed, then she was able to identify who she was. So it had nothing to do with Alzheimer's. So a lot of people, when we talk about going in and getting a memory, some kind of a memory test, they're very hesitant. Just keep in mind that it's not always Alzheimer's, it's not always dementia. It could be new medications that you're taking. Your numbers could be off, could be anything. So you just want to make sure that you're an advocate for your health. You know yourself better, your families do. So if you're unable to focus, maybe you are getting lost, those types of things. It's consistency and frequency. So always make sure that you communicate that with your physician.
Of course. And so for people out there maybe are on the fence about maybe checking this forum out, or maybe they're unaware of kind of what are the warning signs that maybe people should look out for. Obviously you said people in their 40s are starting to possibly show early symptoms. What is that we should kind of be like maybe honing in on a little bit?
Well, they show up, symptoms or the decline in cognitive can show up 20 years prior to. And some of them, like I said, there are 10 signs. And a lot of it has to do with how it impacts your daily life. You know, if some people will constantly repeat themselves, ask the same question over and over, forget people, forget sequencing of things as far as a process, a plan. You know, I turn the stove off, then I put the food in, and those kind of steps are just kind of all jumbled up. And like I said, it is frequency. So if you do it, you know, once a month, maybe it's not a big deal. But if you're doing it consistently, you know, every day, every week, then, you know, there's a problem. We have a lot of the information on our website, alz.org. Has all of the information that you have. And we also have a helpline number. It's 24/7. It's 800-272-3900. And it supports over 200 languages. So it could be a question from, hey, I think I have it, to I'm taking mom to the doctor. What kind of questions should I be asking?
Wonderful. So now real quick, the event on the August 29th now, what the details, what time is it? I believe people need to register, right? So yeah, who do they need to talk to about registering?
Well, it's from 5 to 7 at the Posez Education Center, so just part of Stormont-Vail Hospital. We have a 1-800 number that we could leave with you, and that is the best way to call and get registered for that. It is free. That we've also got some other companies, facilities, care facilities coming to support, so there'll be some booths out for some education. I also wanted to add that in addition to clinical trials, at Stormont-Vail, we have free memory screenings.
Yes.
So 50 plus, you are able to get a free memory screening. It's a mini mental exam. It's not a diagnosis. It is just strictly for maybe a little bit of alertness on any cognitive changes earlier on than not. So
yeah,
we do offer that. So
yeah, it's always good to kind of check early, almost check often, I would say.
Right.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
It's good to have a baseline, and so these kind of tests help with that.
Fantastic. I'm glad that there's people out there that are, you know, looking after the community like this.
Yeah, and I just want to mention one thing. Sorry to interrupt you, but one of the things that's come out of this planning for this community forum is that Stormont-Vail is doing an amazing job. They're starting a support group for people that are caring for or living with the disease, and that's just an outstanding resource to have in a community.
And when will that group be kind of getting together?
The plan is to get started in October, but we would have more information hopefully the end of this month at the forum, to where we've got some details on that. But they are formulating a time and a place for that, so that's very exciting.
Ah, that's great. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I look forward to the 29th and hopefully learn a little bit more about Alzheimer's and what's going on in the community.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody, if you want to register, you can call 1-800-272-3900.